Stay safe.
Woo! All right, hi everyone, my name is JJ, and I spent the last 4 years working as a specialist for the Office of Emergency Management and Homeland Security here in Pittsburgh. Now I'm here to tell you that we have a serious problem. People are not prepared for the disasters that they're facing today. They don't have the supplies, they're not ready for them. I'm also here though to tell you that not only can we fix this problem, but we can make a large amount of money off of fixing it. Hence, stay safe. So, all right. Sorry. How many people in this room would love to have this kit of stuff with them if they were in the middle of an emergency? Raise your hand. Okay, thank you. Just statistically speaking, there's probably not many of us that actually have all of this in a bag ready to go at this moment. And that's not really a surprise. So, let's look at Hurricane Sandy, which decimated people and cost a lot of lives unnecessarily. These people knew the storm was coming and they were still unprepared. We can see from these tweets of people in New York that there were huge lines for food that maybe wasn't even there. And, you know, people had to do dumpster diving in Staten Island, New York City, the most robust city in the East Coast. How were we not ready for this? How were people not prepared? Well, unfortunately, or fortunately for us, 54% of Americans have no emergency kit whatsoever. And largely because of this, 42% state that they need immediate assistance in an emergency. People need these kits, they need these supplies, but they just don't have it. So, why not? Why don't we have this? Well, whenever we went out and we talked to people, and from my experience with emergency management, I can see people just don't know what this is. Well, what do you mean, like, I have to, like, the government's telling me I have to make a kit that I have to tailor make to my own personal needs. What needs do I need to tailor to for an emergency? And, you know, what are my local disasters that I need to prepare for? In Maine, I have to prepare for different things than in Austin. But I don't know, and it's so complex, and there's too many choices, and I'm just not going to think about it. And I don't have the time to think about it. It's just too much worry, it's too much pain. So let's remove this pain. So the way we remove it is by an application and a website called KitScript. KitScript is basically, you do this in 3 steps. You fill out a form, you send the script, and you get the bag. The form is just who you are and where you live. Based on that information, I can make you the perfect kit for you and what you're looking for. We do this almost like a prescription, where you get a script, and you can take this script to someone like Walmart, Amazon, Target, and say, look, I have to make an emergency kit, but I don't really want to do it. Can you make this kit for me? And since they're partners with us, they would say, sure. And they would go off and make your kit, and much like how the pharmacist gives you your bottle after 2 hours, we give you an emergency kit. So all you do is form, send a script, via email or in person, and get the bag. It's that easy. So, like I said, this is going to be a business-to-business model of making revenue. We're going to look to Walmart, Amazon, and Target, places that have all of these supplies that you need in the kit. And because we're sending them business, we're going to look for an affiliate cut. So, the average cost we're estimating is about $100 per kit. We're looking at a 15% cut that we want for ourselves. There's 150 million households, 62 million are not prepared statistically, and assuming that we can even get 10% of that market, based off of a 15% cut, we can make $93 million for Staysafe. Not only making money, but making people safer. So, marketing is largely already done for this. As a former government person, I can tell you if there's a solution that will help people save lives, even if it's proprietary, I will push them towards it. Business partners and images, Walmart, Target, and Amazon now have the chance to feel like, yeah, Walmart makes me safe, they make me okay, and I like that. And it's going to be a free app to the consumer, so it's a very low cost to go in. So here's the actual site itself. So here's our launch page, and let's just go to the bottom and say we're just going to get you prepared now. Let's say that you are living in Pittsburgh. Yeah, and let's say you live in the South Side at the 15203 area code. You are female, you're 30 years old, there you go, 33 years old, you're a female, and you are gluten intolerant. So, what kit do you need? Well, here you go. Without you thinking at all, I've taken the basic things that I know that you need, things based on your location, taking from big data that we already have on the hazards in Pittsburgh, the hazards in the South Side, what's going to be happening in Pittsburgh, what we're expecting, and getting you location-based stuff for that. For us, we know we need snow snow stuff. So let's give you snow stuff. And as a woman, you know you're going to need personal hygiene items. You know, like tampons, pads, whatever, for an emergency. You really don't want to miss those, you know? And you want 72-hour food rations that are gluten-free.
Time.
Okay. Doing what?
Anyone doing what you're doing?
No, ma'am.
You're just aggregating and customizing
Yeah.
what people need. No one is doing this. I mean, for my car, they're doing it, right? You can get a kit.
You can get, well, yeah, you can get a car kit. Is that car kit something that actually meets your needs? If you have allergies, if you have kids, if you live in Denver
No.
versus, well, that's the thing. And I mean, like, I'm coming to this from someone who worked in this field. I need you to have those items, because whenever I was working the 2010 snowstorm, we were having a huge issue with people that didn't have, they're like, well, I have an emergency kit, but I don't have blankets. What do you mean? You know, like, this helps take all of that thinking and guesswork out of it.
How do you overcome a basic education, market education barrier? It seems like I can go online and buy probably 100+ different safety kits, right?
You can.
Why am I going to be motivated to go to your website and suddenly just wake up and say, those aren't good enough, I need to go to yours because it's a customized kit?
Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is people aren't doing that. I mean,
Exactly, that's
yeah.
my point.
Okay, right. So the thing is, like, this used to be my job. I tried to peddle these lists and say, look, it's this checklist. Life is easy, I promise you. People go, nah. Like, it's too much stuff all at once. And when people have, like, you know, when people have a ton of choices, they tend to not take action. We're trying to just say, look, just give me who you are, and, you know, just maybe food allergies, you know, your gender, just a few things, and where you are. And you don't have to think. 10 minutes, if you're a busy mom and you want to have your kids be safe, this is a lifesaver. You are now the mom that has the safe family, and it took you less than 10 minutes. You can, like, do it in the commercial during your TV show.
Did you do any market testing to see to compare the size of the market pre-event versus how large it would be if the customer base actually bought it from you after the fact?
Right. So, okay. Are you?
Because my understanding is in the international donor community, there are a ton of these drop ship sort of enclosed, you know, safety boxes, if you would, and it's a developed market. Have you thought about how that would fit in this instance?
I'm not sure. Are you saying, do we need to take the international model and apply it? No, are you saying would people be more likely to buy it?
Is the market bigger than 93 million if people just bought it after the event?
Well, in the short term afterwards, people get much more concerned about the disaster, but looking at overall trends and do people prepare, they're met with those same lists and they still don't take action. And it's just, it doesn't make sense. Like, Sandy, you knew it was coming. There's no excuse for you to not be prepared, but it's still, this is too complex for me to do. And I mean, the reality is people are way too over optimistic about how prepared they are. We went out and we talked to people and we said, do you think you're prepared for emergency? Yes, I do. Do you have a kit? Do you have food? Do you have water that can last you? No. Well, then you're not. Like, but that's not how we think about it. So this takes all of that guesswork and everything out of it.
Did you get feedback from any of the large retailers you mentioned that they'd be willing to give you 15% of?
No, we took that model off of how Amazon works with some of the things that they push, and that is something that we just didn't have time to do. But I mean, we're talking about a significant amount of people. Even with only 10% of households doing this, that's $620 million that's being spent.
And how will you let them know that they need your kit?
The people? Well, it's being pushed heavily by the government. It's being pushed by the Red Cross. It's being pushed by Salvation Army. And the people like Walmart and Target have now an incentive to push this as well, because they're going to make, you know, $80 to $90 per kit that they never would have made otherwise. So,
Good job. Give it up for Staysafe.
thank you.